being able to be efficient enough to make everything run and keep everything up, building the infrastructure where we can make virtually happen or we can make things happen, being able to provide to the community a virtual desktop environment to where they can learn different things, and then also coming to Planned Parenthood and bringing that knowledge there.
Welcome to the Risk Never Sleeps podcast, in which we learn about the people that are on the front lines delivering and protecting patient care. I'm Ed Gaudet, the host of our program, and today I am pleased to be joined by Valarian Couch, the Director of Information Security Operations for the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Let's start with a little bit about you, your background, your role. So tell us about your role at the Planned Parenthood and a little bit about the organization.
Director of InfoSec operations. I'm basically over everything with the Security Operations Center with the SOC. So we protect everything internal and handle a lot of the affiliate data as well.
Okay, great. So you're the protector. You're actually watching the screens and all the vulnerabilities and incidents coming in.
Yes, we do have teams for that. I manage those teams.
Awesome. How big is the team?
Now we have a sizable team across the organization.
Okay, good. And then what type of tools do you use with the SOC?
Basic tools. I can't get into most of the detail with that. But we do use a lot of basic security tools, but just for confidential reasons, we don't get into that type of details.
That makes a lot of sense. So tell me how you got into healthcare, in particular in cyber.
Healthcare, I started in cyber a while ago. My background started off in network engineering, then I went from network engineering to security at cyber. I started with nonprofit and manufacturing before I came to healthcare. So I was the CIO for a school district, and then I came over to the healthcare industry. And it's been an eye-opener with the amount of threats and the landscape that goes on across the board. So it's just dealing with the day-to-day between what was going on in the educational space to the healthcare space. It's similar across the board, actually.
Yeah, but it sounds like the volume's different.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. And what's from your perspective, what's different coming into healthcare that you noticed maybe from other organizations that you've been at?
I think that it's not even really the level of threat. It's different. The level of threat is really the same. Honestly, I think that being able to be on the forefront, protecting data, protecting and securing systems and stuff before they happen, you have to be an advocate for this, to be in this, to say, okay, well, I know this is my job. This is what I'm going to do 24/7, being able to protect this organization, being able to protect patient data, patient information and stuff as well. And it gives you a sense of honor being able to do that. But it also, from the educational space, it gives you that sense of protecting kids' data and protecting teachers' data. So it kind of merges themselves just in different fashions.
Yeah, I love that. And that shared mission that you saw on the educational side certainly translates into healthcare.
Correct.
Everyone's probably been to school at some point in their life, and we're all patients at some point in our life, or we know patients, or have loved ones that are patients. So I love that connection of the shared mission. I haven't heard that in the past. That's really great. As you think about your exiting 2023, we're coming into a new year. What are the things you're looking at? What are your top couple of priorities over the next year?
It's a big year. Really, one, you got election going on, you got different things going on. So we have to tighten security everywhere, and not just from the healthcare space, from the automotive space, the education space. We have to tighten security across the board. Because most times, a lot of things happen around election years, is that you have a sense of security coming in that is not being seen, and you get more on those years because of election, because of the different things that are going on inside of those different spaces, especially if you're in education, healthcare, and some of your big name industries, like it's more out there that we can't see. So we're steady trying to protect the unknown, deal with the unknown, handle the unknown, while we're trying to make sure our systems are not compromised for those issues for 2024.
I think that's a great point, and I think it's often overlooked with an election. I'm sure the bad guys are leveraging that as people are distracted or focusing on the election to increase their attacks. So that notion of staying vigilant and more disciplined is very important.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Any other priorities you want to share? How about from a team perspective or from your own personal perspective?
I think from a team perspective, I still want to cultivate my team, kind of get them more around training, learning more. Like we have a great synergy with my team, and that's with any team that I kind of step into. We want to make sure that we all always have a synergy to where we feed off of each other. We kind of know where the weaknesses lie, where the strengths lie, and who could do what, and we just pick up from there. I think training is a big part in this industry as you continue training to learn the ongoing threats, to learn the ongoing surroundings of the environment that you place yourself in is a big notion of how we're able to protect that environment, how we're able to protect those organizations and stuff.
Yeah, I checked out your LinkedIn profile, and I love the point that you made about your passion about building a culture of accountability and collaboration, and that makes a lot of sense in what you just said there. I think it's important for all teams to have that perspective. As you think about the last couple of years with the pandemic and obviously going into the election, I imagine there's a lot of things that keep you up at night. Anything specific you would like to share?
A lot. So during the pandemic, I was actually at the school district. Man, it was hurry up, let's all the kids go virtual. Okay, now all the kids come back. We had to transition, make sure everybody had Chromebooks. Teacher has access to the digital stuff. It was just crazy, and it was just going into healthcare after the pandemic kind of gave me a little bit of a slower pace of what was going on there. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, and didn't you have to structure the classrooms in a way to maintain that
distance?
Yes,
we did have to structure the online classrooms, that whole infrastructure for online going. Even when they came back to school, we still had a in-person presence, and we had a virtual presence as well to make sure that we kind of had a collaboration between the two with the teachers, making sure that their equipment was always working, the in-school equipment, and you had students that was at home while teachers was teaching in the classroom. So it was different.
Did you go remote for a period of time, or were you pretty much in the classroom for most of the time?
The teachers went remote for a period of time, and the students did. So I think they was there for about a year and a half. Then when we came back, it was, you might have some sprouts where half of school got sick with COVID, then they went remote. This school went remote. Like it was just back and forth and stuff. So,
oh, geez. Yeah. So that was a tough couple of years, I'm sure. What are you most proud of, either personally or professionally?
I think that professionally, being able to be efficient enough to make everything run and keep everything up, building the infrastructure where we can make virtually happen, or we can make things happen, being able to provide to the community a virtual desktop environment to where they can learn different things, and then also coming to Planned Parenthood and bringing that knowledge there as well. And personally, I should be done with my doctorate this month. I'm trying to schedule when I defend my doctorate. Yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's your thesis on?
Cybersecurity awareness in K through 12.
There you go. That's a great topic.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, good luck with that. So Outside of healthcare and IT today, what are you most passionate about? What would you be doing if you weren't doing this job?
I love to write, so I do a lot of writing. I
Hmm?
do poetry, I do writing, I do
Did you say poetry?
yes.
I write poetry too.
Yeah, it is. Most people
Awesome.
don't realize it's soothing. Like it sits with you. It's relaxing.
It
And
is.
it's just
Yeah,
like you describing things in a way that makes sense to you and you understand, and it kind of just brings peace to you as well.
that's right. You get it on the page, and once it's on the page, it's
Yeah.
outside of the head. So you're right. It's very cathartic and it's very soothing. That's a really good way to think about it.
Yes.
Any favorite poets that you have or that you read?
I think out of all, I still I want to say I like Langston Hughes a lot as well.
Langston Hughes, yeah.
Um,
Yep.
I did read a good bit of Maya Angelou stuff, but I love how Langston conveys a lot of his stuff. Like it's a lot of new poets that I don't know by name, but the way that they talk about life and incorporate life into their poetry now, it makes it where it's relatable to millennials or to the younger groups. Like your old school poets related life into overall structures of life. But now you have poets that drill down into the day-to-day stuff of what's going on in life with you.
Yeah, that's yeah, no, that's right. And a lot of the old time poets tend to see it through the metaphor. And where a lot of the poets today obviously will still leverage metaphors, but they're much richer in the language, I think, of
Yeah.
like you said, of the contemporary, what's happening in the moment and today. There's a really good documentary over the weekend I watched. Nikki Giovanni. Do you know her? You ever read her poetry?
Hmm.
She was an activist during the 60s and she wrote a lot about the civil rights struggle, obviously, and other things. But that documentary is excellent. I highly recommend it. Since you like poetry. I don't get a lot of people say that. So it's what I would be doing if I wasn't doing this job. So if you could go back in time and talk to your 20-year-old self, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Don't join the military.
I didn't know that you were, what branch were you in?
I was in the army.
Me
So
too. Me too. Thank you for your service.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where were you stationed?
A bumble to Germany.
Oh, okay. And what did you do basic?
I did basically at Fort Jackson, then from Fort Jackson to Bragg.
Bragg.
Not
Okay. Yeah.
Bragg, Benning.
Oh, Benning. Oh, okay. Yeah. So infantry then?
Hmm.
I was field artillery.
Man, I just at that time it was the best thing in the world, and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I wouldn't change it, but I think that me now and all the stuff that we have at our fingertips, I would say, okay, let me go back and say, hey, you have other options.
Yeah. No,
But
that's good. I like that answer. Um,
but it molds you into the person that you become. So
yeah.
you take those core values and shape yourself off of it. So it kind of plays a big part in my work ethics as well.
Yeah, no, similarly, I needed the discipline at the time, so it's sort of, in many ways, it saved me. I think I would have taken probably a different path that probably would have ended up well. So, oh, that's good. Yeah, I was, I did my basic training at Fort Knox, Kentucky, and then I was at Fort Bragg, and then I went to Oklahoma, Fort Sill for officer training for the field artillery. So
Yeah,
I
I
was,
ended up getting stationed in Baumholder in Germany at the Rock
oh
for a
yeah,
few
how many
years.
years?
Yeah.
How many years?
I did 4.5
Oh
at
wow,
Baumholder. I did a total of 6, but I was in Baumholder for the majority of it. But I did
cool.
Iraq twice
Oh,
and
geez, wow.
Afghanistan once.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, I got out just before that all started to happen and unfold. Um, so I've got to ask you this question because this is the Risk Never Sleeps podcast. What's the riskiest thing you've ever done?
In life or
Yeah, tell me in life. Don't tell me as in the sock. Like, uh,
I think looking back, jumping out of planes would
yeah.
probably be the
Oh,
riskiest
were
thing.
you airborne?
Yeah.
Were you airborne?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
So
Hoorah.
yeah. I think my knees are paying for it at this point in my life right now.
Oh,
So
yeah. I imagine. Yeah. Yeah. Many trips to the VA after that.
I got plenty of them.
Okay. Yeah. No, jumping out of planes is risky. No doubt.
But I don't know. At that point, we live for the thrill. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's the
Um,
thrill.
so I don't know if you get this question in advance, but I'm assuming if you're a poet, you probably like music as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you were on a desert island and you could only bring 5 CDs or records with you, what would they be?
Five CDs or records.
Yeah.
Man, BB King.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I would throw a gospel CD in there. I throw Kurt Franklin gospel CD in there. I would actually do Golf Rook CD.
Garth Brooks. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
um,
You got to have your country.
yeah. Because I'm originally from Alabama, so I kind of mixed that in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
R&B, I hit and miss on. So I still, and they got a couple new artists. I think we got somebody named New Blues artists. I really love blues. I grew up on
Yeah.
blues.
Me too.
Like the new R&B stuff is fine, but when you listen to blues, it reminds you of poetry a lot too. So it kind of just
Yes.
that, yeah.
Exactly. It's much more, well, it pulls at the heartstrings more than R&B. R&B is, it's a sort of a lover's music, whereas soul is a lot of pain in soul. And
They got some jazz ones out there that's real nice too.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a huge jazz fan. My dad would put me to bed to jazz records when I was a kid, so I grew up on jazz.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, those are good. Those are good choices. All right. So any last advice to folks in maybe breaking into cyber, maybe coming out of the network engineering role?
So I say there is, don't take what you learned and feel that it's comfortable to apply it to every day. Come in as open-minded as possible to be able to learn what real world looks like. Because what's in a book is not real world. What's real world could be actionable, and it can be minute sometimes. It can be fun sometimes. But just be able to take it, have fun with it, make it your own, but come open-minded.
I love that. What's in the book is not real world, unless, of course, it's poetry. Then it's probably close to
Correct.
real world. All right. Well, that's great. Any last minute comments or thoughts for listeners?
No, sir.
All right. Excellent. Very, very good. We're here with Valarian Couch from the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. This is Ed Gaudet from the Risk Never Sleeps podcast. If you are on the front lines protecting patient safety and delivering patient care, remember to stay vigilant because risk never sleeps.